Morning, everyone. 2 days holiday. What did you all do? So much of work. We are a product, unwittingly, so much of our own education system that without realizing, we hand over the same system to our children, which has caused so much of pain and suffering for us. So we need to now, in this new concept of schooling, start to think of it. In our time, school provided a certain set curriculum, some teachers who explained that curriculum, and the children were to learn and were to adjust. And from school to school, if the children shifted, like some of us shifted from one school to another, it is the child who had to adjust to the new school, new principal, new class teacher. But if you look now, let's say summer camp is coming up, or there are many courses which are being conducted by professionals, by teachers, by skill developers. Have you noticed they make the classrooms as attractive as they can, whether the children should say, I want to go to that workshop. I want to go and learn there. And children pick and choose whether I want to go for that class or that class. No, mama, I don't want to go there, I want to go there. So you see there is a shift is happening. And that shift is what? In our days, it was the child who had to change. Now, it's the school and the teachers like you and me, we have to change. And we have to keep abreast. I'd shared with you some of the concepts that in our days we were expected to be, we were good children if we were very disciplined, very obedient, very respectful to parents, and we paid our time in understanding, learning, and applying it, so-called in that academic examination process. We became good children. So what was it? Respect, obedience, following up what the parents and teachers told us. Whereas now we are wanting our children to be what? Asking questions. We want them to be inquirer. We want them to have a good human character, values. So you got all these students' profile. You see amongst your children, some children you automatically find they're doing much better because they have some of those characters of the profile. But yours and my job is to take care of even those children who do not have those qualities. So who's changing? The school is changing. The class teacher is changing. The strategy is to be worked out. And during these working out principles, you cannot do it the way it used to be done in our time, which used to be called punishment based, or in a very good case was motivation based. If you do that, then you will get this carrot system. Whereas now, be that whatever it may be, you have to motivate the child. You have to find that secret wealth which is there in every child. And that's what we're talking about. Every child matters. You cannot do it by rigid discipline, by saying this is your line, you stay within this line. Today you are asking children to ask questions. You want intelligent, good questions. I remember I was told, I have not forgotten, I used to ask a lot of questions. Teacher used to get very bugged. The teacher told me once, yours is not to ask why. Yours is only to learn them, do them, and then die. We were told, don't ask questions. So see how there is a shift is happening. So what you have to do, you have to become friends with them. You have to generate a feeling of exchange. And each child is different. Each one of you are different. So each one of you have to develop an equation with the children. Equation with that child. Sometimes maybe little firm, sometimes maybe caring, sometimes maybe creating some great curiosity for them so that they should say, what is this? And for the grown-up kids, create some challenges. Whereas somebody else could do it, somebody else can't do it. When you know somebody else can't do it, you go ahead and make the challenges in such a way that they can also want to make an attempt to do it. So what is happening? The human element is coming into play. And along with this, that is the child, the school, the environment, the ambience, is coming in the future equation. Have you noticed how the world has changed? You and I did not have a computer. Very few of us have seen a television in our school days. Whereas today that digital media has become one of the most powerful media. So what do? Utilize that, utilize that methodology so that, children are very good with mobiles and laptop. If we can think about some ways, some applications by which that they are not going and wasting time in unnecessary conversation, that means chatting. But what they're doing is utilizing the tool in inquiring, in finding out. Have you noticed in today, any question you have, you go to Google, you go to Wikipedia. So you have the digital medium. What we are trying to do here is trying to give you the digital media, which you can utilize it very well. But the human element, you have to bring it out from within yourself. And you have to generate from within the children. And have you noticed this is the human element which makes you very attractive, very charming, very kind, very loving, very caring. This human element which makes you also smile a lot. The same human element makes you angry, egoistic, stubborn, not relenting, not letting go. I remember I was standing in Florida. The train was to come and take us across the Florida estate to see the Disney land. So there was youngish couple with 3 kids. Father was holding the smaller baby and mother was holding the other 2 The elder one must be around 6 or 7. So he was very curious. So the train, you could see the train is coming, and there was a little curve. And they said train is about to arrive. So he went. Platform was just about 6 inches above the floor. So we were standing at the platform. See, he went to the edge and he was looking like that to see where the train coming. The mommy, naturally a little concerned, scared, mommy said, "Come back here." She very politely went back and he looked up at mother, and I'm always interested in children and people. So I was just studying them. This boy went up and asked, looked up at mother and said, "Mother, why?" You know what she did? She was holding another child in her hand and she said like this, "Because I said so." You and I can't do that. And if you do that, we're being dumb. You have to generate that curiosity. You have to have adequate new information, new ways to excite them and bring out those finer qualities. To bring it out, you have to have those finer qualities. How do you do that? Simple methods, not very complicated. Read something nice. That's why I asked you, I always ask after holiday, what did you do? Did you put something here? That is you need to do withdrawal from here to get new ideas to give it to the kids, no? Now supposing you don't put any money in the bank, can you do withdrawal from the bank? And if you try to do, when you have not got any money in the banker is going to say, no balance. The same thing happens when you haven't put anything and you're not going to come out for something with the children. You haven't contributed, you haven't reflected, you haven't done reading. Very simple, so easy. What will happen? No balance. So what do? You come out with our own way of learning, which is junk. And children will rebel, and you have problem in your hand. So, see, the infrastructure is there. The tools, the time is given. 3 T's. A good teacher with a T needs 3 T. What is time? Second is a tool. A tool. Your methodology is a tool, your computer is a tool, your digitized mediums are tools, your various other training, whatever you utilize, you think about, you create manipulatives, they're all tools. And third thing is training. Time, tools, and training. You have to train yourself and you have to do professional development, which school is continuously doing it, but you have to do yourself. Anytime if you see that you're getting angry or upset, or you're okay, but the child is getting angry or upset, please now I have to do something. I have to change. What is it that I need to do? So you have a beautiful ambience. Let's say you are a very handsome man or a very pretty lady, looking very good. When they open their mouth, when they talk, if it is not good, it's boring. You will quietly drift away from there, isn't it? Whereas on the other hand, you might not look very pretty or handsome, but you could be extremely charming and knowledgeable, and every word that you speak ignites the people's heart, their mind. Makes them start thinking. Your words become the catalyst. Chemistry, starting reaction. And how would you get that? By doing what we call swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is self-study. You have to do that self-study. You take on. You got a beautiful time right now. There are a lot of preparations, assessments, the writing process, your culmination of the terms, and then you got a break and you're coming up. Start planning. What am I going to do during this time? You're already planning what the children are going to do, isn't it? We are quite concerned. What about the children? What about ourselves? We have to also think of ourselves. So keep on thinking. There's always a beautiful thing that is just waiting for you to knock. Jesus' words, knock and it shall be opened to you. It is a beautiful statement with which I would like you to reflect upon for the times that have you noticed for the centuries the world, the science is always trying to catch up with the mysteries of the universe. Whether it's an apple falling, or an aircraft flying, or a chip system, or a nano system, have you noticed? Scientists are always trying to catch up. So the reflection for you is that will the scientists ever catch up with the mysteries and secrets of the world? Just think. This little Victoria's Kids School, we all are here, children are here, parents are here. And this is such a thing. And now look at this whole Pune city. How many must be organizations like this, schools like this? And now look at, like Pune city, how many cities are there in India? How many such organizations? How small we are, isn't it? And in that small organization, how small compared to everybody else, you or me? And now look at whole of India, how many? And now look at, like India, how many countries on this earth? And now on this earth, how many solar systems? In one solar system, so many planets. How many stellar systems? And these systems are in a galaxy. How many systems? Just think. Sometimes when you lie down in an open sky on top of a roof or in a garden, just look up at the sky and look at those tiny, tiny stars and planets. How tiny we are. And now how many galaxies are there? As per very good assessment, it will cross 1 trillion billion galaxy. Trillion is 12 zero, billion is 9 zero. Can you comprehend? And yet, if you choose to, you can encompass the entire universe with the power which is inside of you, which is what the great masters did. So start investing on yourself, think about how to bring out the better you, and think about how to bring out the better, the child who has been placed in front of you by Allah, by God. It's yours and our divine task to take them on. Use all the infrastructure, think about what else can we do. What else new things we should do? Think about some new strategies. Come and discuss with the core team. Sit down with the ma'am, your head of the department, coordinator. Think about what else, what else, what else, what else? What else can I do? Think about something. So that reflection thinking, what is it? Why did the apple fall? What did Newton do? He just started thinking, no? The apple fell and the gravitational force discovery wasn't there inside the apple. Nor was it inside the earth that when it fell, a worm or a butterfly came out and entered Isaac Newton's head. It was all inside in his mind. So it is all inside in yours and my mind and brain. Are we using it? If I tie up this hand like this for 15 days, after 15 days, can I use this hand? It will take me a lot of time to get it back, a lot of physiotherapy. If you and I do not creatively keep on exercise, thinking, adding, depositing, exercising it, giving it away, remember, Jnanam Danena Vardate. More giving it away. Then only you keep having more and more and more fresh ideas. Then suddenly you will find that you will become a storehouse which has got no limit. Infinite ideas are coming up. To that, keep smiling. Love you all.